What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 49 of Week in Review. My name is Sean, and on this week's show, we're going to talk about one movie, one limited edition item, and we'll look forward to this week's new releases. This week's movie is The Favorite, and this is another movie that I saw as part of a preview event. This time, though, there wasn't a guy standing out guard of the door being like, hey, no cell phones. Don't you spoil anything in The Favorite, which would be a weird movie to spoil. Not like Bumblebee. They were on top of Bumblebee because I don't know what you would spoil in that movie. But hey, The Favorite, I guess you could spoil something. I don't really know what it would be. But I can tell you that I really, really like this movie, and I think it's one of the best movies of the year. I think it excels in a number of categories, most of which is probably the acting category. Olivia Colman commands the screen. She plays the queen in this particular movie, and she is absolutely terrific. It's probably the best performance that I've seen this year. The other one that would be up in that upper echelon category would be Viola Davis in Widows, who is sadly getting overlooked. That movie as a whole, Widows, is getting overlooked in the awards season, and that really, really sucks. Widows is one of the best movies of the year. It has a terrific cast that gives great performances, and I start to finish loved Widows, and it sucks that it's getting overlooked for other movies like Bohemian Rhapsody getting a Golden Globe nomination for Best Drama. Are you guys fucking stupid? Bohemian Rhapsody is it's a fine movie. It's like a solid 7, maybe a 6, and it has a great performance from Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury. But the movie is not that great. Widows is head and shoulders above Bohemian Rhapsody, and for you to give that movie a nomination and not Widows, that's a goof. Anyway, back to The Favorite. Olivia Colman commands the screen. She's absolutely fantastic. She gives layers to the queen. You understand that the queen is, for those of you who don't know the plot, I guess I'm getting a little ahead of myself. The plot of this movie, and this is easily figured out from the trailers, it's two people competing for the queen, to be the queen's favorite, hence the title, The Favorite, by kind of playing to her ego. And while it looks simple on paper, I think it's deceptively simple. There are elements of the story that show up that I wasn't expecting, probably about a third of the way through the movie. And the way Olivia Colman plays the queen gives her a lot of depth. Instead of just being an egotistical, kind of maniac, there's a lot of pain, and there's a lot of other things that are going on with her, and she's trying to fill some sort of void, and it's a fascinating character. Matching Olivia Colman as the queen step for step are Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz. And Rachel Weisz, I'm not terribly familiar with her work. She's very, very good as one of the wannabe favorites, I guess. That's kind of a weird way to phrase it, but one of the competitors, that's an even weirder way to phrase it. I'm not terribly familiar with Rachel Weisz's filmography. She's a name that I recognize and a person that I recognize, but I just couldn't quite pin where she had been in movies that I had seen. And she's very, very good in this movie. Even more interesting to me was Emma Stone. Watching her over the last 10 years or so has been super fascinating. I think you're going to get that number from a lot of people my age, first being exposed to her in Superbad, and kind of just watching her growth as an actor has been really, really interesting. She's done stuff like Crazy Stupid Love, Easy A, that one movie, the musical one, that one that didn't win the Best Picture, I'm totally blanking on it. It's that stupid jazz movie, La La Land. She did that, and those are all kind of interesting and varied, and this, I think, is a very different role for her. Usually she seems to be pretty likable in her movies, but in this one she starts likable and slowly kind of works down a path of you kind of suck. This gives her something else to do, and she nails it every step of the way. This movie is top-notch from an acting perspective. Her character is super motivated and very, solely focused on doing one thing. She wants to be the queen's favorite, and that's it. She doesn't really care about anybody else that gets in her way. And that's where kind of the interesting, little twist of this comes in, and maybe almost like a piece of satire or satirical aspects come into this, is watching a bunch of people who don't actually really have to sacrifice anything make decisions to be the favorite that have actual lives in the balance, if that makes sense. Basically it's a bunch of people just playing willy-nilly with others' lives, with taxes or with armies and things of that nature, to just gain favor in Parliament. This movie also excels in the areas of costume design, set design, score, and cinematography, which is a personal favorite I've talked about a lot on this particular show. On the cinematography aspect of it, they do a lot of shots where they track down some type of a hallway, or they track around in a room, rotate the camera anywhere from 30 to 180 degrees, and then kind of track back on itself. And those are just shots that I find super interesting. The costume design and the set design are really, really great as well. And it's just a nice movie to look at. I think this movie is well worth your time. I think it's funny, it's interesting, it's incredibly well acted. I don't know, it's just like it's a really good time. I really enjoyed it. It went directions that I didn't expect it would go. So shout out to like having good trailers. I don't know. I think this is one of the best movies I've seen this year. This week's limited edition item comes to us in the form of a Cracker Jack bag. And it's holiday sugar cookie popcorn. I don't know why. I have trouble reading that. I keep wanting to put the word coated in because that's what it says on the back. But it's sugar cookie holiday popcorn Cracker Jack. And when I bought these, I don't remember how I feel about Cracker Jack. I feel like it's in that like Mountain Dew Livewire category where like I'll buy it and then be like, oh yeah, this is how I feel about that. Like Mountain Dew Livewire, I think I've told this story before, but like I buy like 2 of those a year, and every time I buy them, I'm like, you don't like this. You still don't like it. You didn't like it 6 months ago. You don't like it now. You're not going to like it in another 6 months. So we'll give these a shot, and hopefully they are a little bit better than Livewire Mountain Dew. Though I don't think that's a fair comparison. One of them is a snack, a popcorn snack. I like popcorn. And the other is a disgusting orange flavored drink. So we'll crack these open. I'm curious about what the prize is. It's going to be garbage, but probably like a temporary tattoo or something. Oh. They smell like Cracker Jack. That's kind of what they look like. They're coated, as it says on the back. I realize I'm reiterating that and be like, they're coated. And it's like, yeah, they are, because that's what it says on the packaging there, Mr. Sean. If you want to read. I don't know. They smell all right, I guess. They smell like caramel corn. They don't have any sort of like, these smell how I would think Cracker Jack smells. There's no other difference, like no discernible difference to that. I'm not really sure what the goal here is. Delicious holiday sugar cookie flavored sugar. Boy, that's a mess of words. Let me try this again. Delicious holiday sugar cookie flavored coated popcorn, decorated with holiday sprinkles and always a prize inside. The snack brand America celebrates holidays with for over 120 years. These taste kind of just exactly like Cracker Jack. That's a terrible sentence, but there's like maybe a hint of aftertaste of like the sugar cookie frosting, but when you're eating it, it just tastes like caramel corn. Now, the other question is, what the hell is the prize inside? Trusty bag. There it is. I really hope there isn't a hole in that. Cool. It's this something. Lift and peel. What are you? Ew, come on. Okay, I give up. The prize sucks, and the thing doesn't taste that great. If you like Cracker Jack, maybe give them a shot, but I can't recommend these. I don't even know what the hell this segment of the show is at this point. I don't know if I'm trying to recommend things to people. I don't know if I'm just eating dumb shit just for content's sake. I don't really know. Those are Cracker Jacks, and they taste like Cracker Jacks. If you like those, maybe you'll like this. If you're like me and you're kind of just impartial, don't worry about it. Maybe that's what I'm here for. I'm here to spend my money stupidly, so you don't have to. Which I guess would follow under the review. It's a whole mess. I'll figure it out in the new year. There's your Cracker Jacks. Finally, on this week's show, we'll look forward to this week's new releases, being that it is Christmas. Merry Christmas if you're celebrating. I dressed up for the occasion. If you're not, Happy Tuesday. Thanks for watching the show. There is nothing of note on Blu-ray, and there is nothing of note games-wise. So those two are out of here. As far as movies in theaters, Vice and Holmes and Watson made it into theaters. I thought we would get some smaller stuff like If Beale Street Could Talk or The Destroyer, but those are nowhere to be found. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Week in Review. 49 episodes down. If you like the content, scroll on down. Let me know what you thought of The Favorite if you saw it, and let me know if you ate those Cracker Jack sugar cookie coated things. Also, what was the prize inside? Because I couldn't get mine open and I gave up. While you're there, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video, and check back every Tuesday for more Week in Review. Next week is like the 50th big ol' episode spectacular. We'll see if I remember to do anything extra special for that, or if I forget and then when I'm editing I'm like, oh yeah, I had like a whole bit that I was going to do. We'll see. Tune in next week. There you go. There's your tease to tune in next Tuesday for the 50th episode spectacular. We'll see you next week.